Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Crockett Show in social media history. I want to welcome you to a special edition of the War Zone. I'm gonna ride this one by myself. I'm the five-star general, and we're gonna get into some things. The Trump rally was a whole mess, and they ready to come back and do it again on the 20th. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about crime in Houston. Talk about City Councilwoman Tasha Jackson, who don't live where she's supposed to live. So let's get to it, man. Say, man, I want to welcome you to a special edition of the War Zone. I'm gonna ride this train by myself tonight, and I started off the same way every time. I want to thank you for tuning in because without you guys, we would not have a show. You're the best audience in the world, and we really, really appreciate it. Make sure you share this video. I'm gonna talk about a few things, and you really get into some things. You got some comments or some questions, you let me know, and be glad to answer. First thing, I really want to talk about the crime in the city of Houston. Tomorrow we have an event, rain, sleet, or snow, called the Slate, the Black Slate. It's at the Black Store on Cullen Boulevard. It starts at 3 o'clock. If you've been seeing the flyers, and I'm gonna sit on a panel tomorrow with City Councilwoman at Large Letitia Plummer, my good friend State Representative Ron Reynolds, and my other good friend Executive Police Chief Troy Fenner of the Houston Police Department. But I came tonight because I want to talk about this crime and the fraudness of even addressing it that's going on. Now we know that crime is through the roof. Houston had the fifth largest murder rate in the country. But yet they say we don't have a problem. We definitely have a serious problem. And I don't understand why they won't address it. Why Turner won't address it. Well, he's addressing it, but the way that he's addressing it is really a big ass waste of time. It's really a big waste of time. I mean, you spent a ton of money on trying to deal with road rage. You were gonna have more cops on the road. People still getting beat up and shot at on the road. Ain't nothing changed. I think that some days we have to understand that these people that are in political positions of power, some days they in over their head and they really don't know what to do. But they can't address it the way that they want because of their political affiliations and who they may have to get money from again, so they don't address it the way that it should be addressed. Crime in Houston has been on the uptick for about 3 to 4 years, and it's getting worse by the day. It's getting worse by the day. Now, whether you're a city council person or not, and you watching this, you know I'm not lying. You also have a plan in there if you sit on city council that could actually work, but you won't. Your boss won't let you use it. And the sad part about that is people are realistically just losing their life over nothing in this city, losing their lives over nothing. You know, 2 days ago you had 9 shootings. Last night you had 3 murders. Come on, man. We just ain't gonna deal with it, huh? These people don't have to deal with it because they don't live in the neighborhoods that they say they represent. A lot of them don't. And with that being said, it is what it is, man. I mean, I don't know how you could sit in those positions and not try to address the problem. Not try. It's okay if you try and you fail, but you won't even try to address the problem. It's like you don't give a damn. And everybody wants to get mad at the district attorney for these people getting them them low bells. What about them judges, man? Somebody need to address these judges with these people. And I get it, justice reform and making sure that people get that they're treated fair. But some of these bails are just ridiculous, dude. And you'll never understand that until the murder comes to your front door. It is what it is. That's all I can say. But you realistically need to look at some of these old sucker ass judges. You kill somebody, you get a bail for $2,000. Hold on a second, man. You get a bail for $2,000 and you kill somebody? I'm not understanding that. I don't care what type of justice reform we want, but I don't see that being something that we can be proud of as black people. You know, it really needs to be looked at. And a lot of these judges don't have the mental capacity to sit on them benches. That homegirl hookup shit, your sorrow and your frat brother and all that bullshit. And then y'all get up on them benches and get to acting a donkey. And then you want to come back to the neighborhood 2, 3, 4 years later, pleading with people to vote for you again. And they really don't know what the hell you done did. It's only a few of us that do. But we're going to expose you to the highest degree. I'm going to flip from there. I'm going to go into the school system. I tried to watch the board retreat this morning. And they were sitting in there and they were talking about their project. What the fuck you got to do with educating children? I mean, they sitting there and they reminiscing. You spend more time trying to show people that you get along, that you can work with each other. You spend more time doing that than you actually do helping children. And I don't understand it because it makes no sense to me. I don't have to like you. I just have to make good decisions. And I ran last time when I ran with Digard, Sung, Villaseca, and Santos. Y'all have not honored none of your campaign promises. I'm sitting right next to you on the campaign trail. I normally sat next to Elizabeth Santos and had no clue you were who you were. Y'all have not done anything. You do whatever the union tell you to do, the teachers union. Whatever they tell you to fight for, that's what you're gonna fight for. But realistically, some of your fights are in vain because it makes no sense. It just makes no sense. And I'm watching these people represent our children, and as adults, I can't make rational decisions. There's no male representation on the school board at all, and that's a problem. I don't give a damn how many degrees y'all got. Man, it's just common sense that need to come into play. I mean, either you're gonna represent the people or you're gonna be in bed with the union and TEA. Which one is gonna be? Let me say that again for you. Either you're gonna represent the teachers, the children, the school system, or you're gonna be in bed with the teachers union and the Texas Education Agency. Which one is gonna be? Because that's how y'all playing a dangerous game. Y'all playing a dangerous game. And I'm gonna be honest with you, some of y'all ain't getting no black votes. I'm just telling you, it ain't gonna happen. You can't even come to our neighborhoods with that placating and that faking. If you got a rich white neighborhood in your district that you can pander to, then go over there and lie to them. But you're not coming to our neighborhood acting like you've done anything for African American kids when you've done nothing. When you've done some of y'all that sit on the school board are just the devil in disguise. You're the devil in a blue dress. That's what you are. You're the devil in a blue dress. Um, Kids shouldn't even be in school at this point, but it's all about the money, huh? Well, I guess a certain set of people and certain communities get to dictate whether or not kids, got to be in them schools full time. And if I was y'all, I'd just homeschool my kid and say the hell with this Houston Independent School District. If your kid happen to die because of this COVID, I guarantee they ain't gonna send no goddamn flowers to the funeral. Talk about Trump, man. I know that's what everybody waiting on. Let's talk about Trump, man. This past Wednesday was some crazy shit I ain't never seen in my life. And the Donald, he did his thing. He gassed his people up, and they went down there and acted a damn fool. Now, once they acted a fool, everybody wanted to blame it on Antifa. Oh, they had some Black Lives Matter. You're damn lie, because Antifa and Black Lives Matter don't click. They like oil and water. So there wasn't no Black Lives Matter people. And the sad part about it is, what did you accomplish? You did all that. People ended up dead. A bunch of people finna go to jail. It is what it is. You did all that, and what did you accomplish? See, me, one thing I don't do before I start a war, I gotta have an end result. I gotta have a reason to even go to war. And for whatever the reason, y'all did what you did, and now you're threatening to go back on the 20th. Well, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen if you go back on the 20th. Go back out there playing with them people, gonna be a bunch of dead white folk. I'm just telling you, they ain't gonna do it this time. The whole thing to me was a setup. The whole thing was orchestrated. And for what reason? What did you accomplish? You didn't accomplish anything. Now, you politicians that's sitting back watching this, why are you scared to pull the trigger? It's some things that you need to do that is just common sense. Why are you afraid to pull the trigger? Why are you afraid? Because let me tell you something. We keep hollering about these parties, Republicans and Democrats. All y'all in bed with each other. All y'all work with each other. So who you really fighting for? It's some things that you just have to do. And as I watched all this stuff that was unfolding, watching people die, one dude trying to climb the wall fell off the wall and hit a scalpel. One dude that electrocuted his balls. You know, hey man, let me tell you something. That shit don't work. For the ones of us that are asleep, you can run that game. Y'all got a cold game with you. I give you that. And me, I'm your worst nightmare because I'm woke and I can see and I understand. And I know what you're doing. But some people didn't deserve to die. Some people wasn't in on the fix Wednesday. Some people lost their life. Some people lost their lives behind utter foolishness. Utter foolishness. Now, I will say that, a lot of people, it was a lot of black people there. Well, I mean, it's what it is. I don't give a damn who was there. Black, white, Latino, whatever. Fuck you there for? You ain't gonna stop shit. You wasn't gonna stop nothing. Now all of y'all abandoning Trump. Y'all abandoned Trump faster than motherfuckers love Big Meech alone in Atlanta with BMF. When he was throwing that money in the club, y'all was riding the train. But a whole bunch of y'all want to abandon Trump with 2 weeks to go, resigning, quitting your job. You know why you resigning? Because his cabinet can't invoke the 25th Amendment. Cabinet got to invoke it, but the cabinet resigning. It's all a game. And the crazy part about the game is it doesn't matter if he's in office or not. He still has the ability to galvanize his people and gas them up to do more shit. Like the day somebody put a Confederate flag in front of a Jewish synagogue in New York. For real? See, let me tell you something, man. All this peaceful, let's be peaceful. I get it. But I'm peaceful with those that are peaceful with me. You know, if we don't want to be peaceful, then it is what it is. Pence is not going to say nothing, Jacqueline, because Pence wants to run for president in 4 years. He wants to look like he tried to stop everything, and he wants to run for president in 4 years. So if you end up with Pence, you know what it is. Pence is he's garbage too. But let's look at them senators that decided they would go against the electoral, will go against the Constitution. We got one down here, Senator Ted Cruz. You know, now everybody doing petitions. Fuck a petition. If you want him gone, recall him. Yeah. Why you doing a petition? Why you wasting your time writing on a computer? If you want him gone, recall him. But you ain't gonna do that. See, we do a lot of talking in the political world, but we normally don't do shit about nothing. If you upset, if you disgusted, somebody start to recall him. But I don't think you got the guts to do it. Pence ain't got the guts to invoke the 25th. The cabinet quitting because they ain't gonna do it. Man, these people at the end of the day are not going to go against their people. So now the legislators go back to work. What are we going to accomplish, especially in the state of Texas? What are we going to accomplish? I think it'd be a couple of little bills passed, nothing major. But it's a few that I know definitely I'm gonna be in there speaking up in the education committee where Dutton and Alma Allen at. I'm gonna be in there speaking on that. I'm gonna go down to Austin and speak on that. But what bills are they gonna pass? Say, man, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. That a lot of you people that run for office and win, you have no business sitting in those offices because you don't work for the people, man. You have an agenda. When I look at the school system and the school board, these people have an agenda, man. Whatever that agenda may be, you know, they have an agenda, man. If I'm sitting on the school board, watch this, and I know I'm outvoted, then I'm gonna let my nuts hang for my people. I'm gonna fight tooth and nail for mine. I'm gonna try to make it make sense every chance I get. Some of y'all just go along to get along. And when you go along to get along, we get the short end of the stick, homie. We get the short end of the stick, man. You're hurting a lot of people, man. The United States of America is in disarray at this point. And it's the perfect time to push the reset button. It's the perfect time to push the reset button. Right now, you're looking soft. You're looking weak. To my man over in North Korea, he already say he finna test your metal. Didn't I tell y'all that the other day? All that shit going on down there Wednesday, Them other countries watching that shit, well, shit, if they that soft, we might as well come on up in here. Man, my man in North Korea say he finna give y'all the business. He finna give you the business. What you gonna do about it? You got a war on American soil you can't seem to control. Now you finna have wars over in other spots. So what you gonna do? I think the most appalling part of what we saw Wednesday night was the way that they handled the insurgents, the way that they handled the white people compared to how they handled the black people during the protests after George Floyd. And somebody make sense of that. I don't think that anybody can make an excuse for what we saw. And I think that angered people more than anything because, okay, well, they done broke up in the Capitol, which they didn't break in. Y'all let them in. Y'all let them in. Yes, you did. You let them in. And you didn't handle anything the right way. You didn't have the perimeter secured. You didn't have the police officers and the Secret Service and all these folks like you normally have on a regular day. Oh, well, we didn't know it was going to happen. You a damn lie. There was more than enough information put out by hand, social media, everything that you had clearly knew what was going on. And your head cheerleader in charge, your president of the United States, kept putting it out there that something was going to go on. So how did you allow that whole situation to fall through the cracks? Because you wanted it to happen. You wanted it to happen. For whatever that reason may be, you wanted it to happen. Now, is it easy for us to trust white people at this point? Not at all. With what we saw the other day from people that smile every day with us, and then when the camera catch them, out of pocket, you hearing different things, you seeing different things. So how are we supposed to, as African Americans, trust our white counterparts? This country is being torn from the seams. It's being torn apart. And it's not a third world country that's doing it. It's us doing it to our own third world country. Hold on, dude. You just called the United States of America a third world country? Yep. Because it's under a dictatorship. It seems like a democracy, but it's actually a dictatorship. And we know it is. We know it is, but maybe Joe and Kamala will come in and they'll do what they said they were going to do. Because if they don't, we can't survive 4 years of this bullshit. And that's really all we dealing with is a bunch of bullshit. A whole bunch of bullshit. Like on the 15th of January, some white folks decide they're going to have a protest in Lafayette, Louisiana on Martin Luther King's birthday. For what reason? What is your justification? What is your rationale? To aggravate the black community? Nobody gives a fuck if you're an Ambassador Caffrey. You in the white part of town anyway, do your thing. That's what I'm telling my people. Let them do their thing. Now, when you come to the hood, that's a whole different story. Because you ain't got no win over there. But see, you got all these high-powered folk that's being exposed with all this racist shit that's going on. And then when they're exposed, oh, I'm sincerely sorry. No, you're not. The only thing you're sorry for is being caught. See, you ain't a racist until you get caught. It's like I tell people, you ain't committed a crime until you get caught. You're not a racist until you get caught. But we didn't caught too many of y'all. So how are we supposed to believe we can live on American soil with you and trust you. I will never trust you. I trust you as far as I can see you. Now, it might not be what you want to hear. It might be a little bit too deep for you. But it is what it is. And I don't see no raising up of no other nationalities now that black people are under attack. Where my Latino brothers at? Can you make some noise for us? The same way black people stood up and made noise when they decided to lock your babies in cages? Or maybe this ain't your fight. Can you stand up for us the way we stand up for you? Well, you ain't to be trusted either. And that's real. It ain't what you want to hear, but it's real. I got my head on swivel with all y'all. I can't trust you folk anymore. I can't put my all into situations that don't look right. Don't look right, don't smell right, ain't right. We gotta figure out. Hey Charlie, what's going on, my friend? We gotta figure out what needs to be done at this point. And I'm gonna tell you, I always used to teach my kids when I coached. You're only as good as the man that leads you. You're a reflection of me. What that tell you about your leadership in the United States of America? Your leadership is the problem. From the smallest country town in Louisiana to the biggest city in Los Angeles, California, all the way back over to Boston, Mass. Your leadership is the problem. Republican and Democratic. Your leadership is a problem. And America is a reflection of our leadership. Our leadership is crazy as all out fucking doors. So what did you expect Wednesday? I didn't expect any better. I'm being honest with you. I really did not. Nobody can put a key in my back and make me go do some of the shit them people did the other day. No situation is gonna put a key in my back and make me go do some of the shit that they did the other day. I can't do it. I can't fathom it. And now the ones of us who are here, like my good friend, my brother Charlie, red leg, good white dude in the militia, good dude, man. Gary Monroe, black man. We left here trying to figure it out. Because what went on, the way it was handled, it put black people in a space that we didn't want to be in. See, everybody knows how to fix us. But you don't have a clue how to fix us because you ain't us. You don't understand what it means to go through some of the shit that we go through. The shit that our kids have to go through. The shit that our parents went through. The shit that our grandparents went through. We've been dealing with shit for too long. Did we make some headway? Nah, I don't think we did. Only thing we got out the deal, and I'm gonna be honest with you, we got the right to piss in the same toilets and go to the same schools and eat in the same restaurants. Once our true leadership was killed, and they were gone, we had nobody to lead us except for the likes of Jesse Jackson. I don't give a damn what people think about me. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. He wasn't ready to do what needed to be done. See, they had already killed King and Medgar and Malcolm. Fred Shuttlesworth died off. Fred Hampton assassinated Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton. Read this to y'all. Charlie put this up. I absolutely expect that the traitors, our country is fractured. It is divided. Who divided us? The traitors. The traitors want to see the races fight each other. They don't want us together. But has anybody ever thought, Charlie, that we don't need to be together? We just need to learn how to coexist. You can't put a square peg in a round hole. You can't force certain things. It's just not going to work. And I'm being honest with you. I can sit down and drink a beer with Charlie all fucking day. Just like he can sit down and drink a beer with me all day. But some days and some people, I don't even want to be around them, some of these folk, because of the way that they think. Have we ever really thought that we're forcing a situation that should have never been forced in the first place? All we had to do was create laws. We all live under the same rule of law. Leave this shit alone. Think about it like this here. Why is it that in most cities in America, black schools don't have what white schools have? Okay, cool. Give us our funding. Let us take care of our own schools. But see, what they did is somebody forced the situation. See, people think that when we had Brown versus the Board of Education, that we won the game. No, 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 no. Because some people didn't want blacks and whites to go to school together. Some blacks didn't want it, some whites didn't want it. But somebody had to push the narrative. So what people did then is they created school choice and magnet schools. And you force kids to go to schools that they didn't want to go to. Oh, well, they're not getting the best education. Okay, but when we were separated, follow me on this. You had more black teachers being created. You had more black lawyers being created. You had more black businesses being created. When you forced the square peg into the round hole, you ceased the means of production. Got love for you, Charlie. We agree to disagree some days. Now, I'm not saying that we got to get along bad. I'm just saying that I went to a historically black high school. One of the maybe 6 that's left in the state of Texas, still there. And you know what? I got the best education I could ever get. I got the best education I could ever get. And the crazy part, people ask me, who was your favorite teacher? He was a U.S. history teacher, a white man named James Claypool. You see what I'm saying? You can't force situations and expect to get the best out of them. You can't force it sometimes. It just doesn't work. Now, would I feel like, even though they underfund my school till this day, would I send my children to that school? Or would I put them in a magnet program on the other side of town, believing they're going to get a better education? No. All 5 of them went to that school. Graduated from that school. Because sometimes you just have to leave well enough alone. We have to respect each other's opinions. We have to respect each other's differences. We definitely do. And I don't have no hate in my heart for nobody. I joke about Trump, but I don't hate Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a part of a machine that don't give a damn about none of us. That machine been rolling before Trump got there. You feel what I'm saying? But some things, like I was saying, you just can't force. You just can't force it. That's just my opinion. Nobody else's opinion, but just mine. But does that mean I still cannot sit down and drink a beer with my white brother Charlie Redleg? Fuck everybody because of Will. Where the Bud Lights at? And we gonna talk, we gonna disagree, and when we finish, we gonna shake hands like men and go about our business. Nobody has a clue that Charlie lives in a black neighborhood. See what I'm saying? If it works for you, it works for you. Racism is like a thoroughbred horse. You ever seen a horse running the Kentucky Derby? He wasn't born to run, he was bred. Racism is bred into people. When a little white kid is born and a little black kid is born, they don't have no prejudice in them at all. They're taught to be that way. We can't continue to think we're going to live in a society and we're going to get along when people are teaching hate. And when we have to address racism, then we become the racist. If Charlie addresses racism, he becomes a racist. If Monroe addresses racism, I become a racist. Why? Because we calling it out and we sick of it. We're not racist, we real. Man, I ain't got time to be waking up wanting to kill nobody. I ain't got time. You know what I'm saying? Except for Starchy Archie. I ain't got time. I think that we can all learn something from each other. I think that we can all live here in America as long as we know where we stand. That's the biggest issue. Knowing where we stand. Now, a lot of black people went to the polls for Biden. Now we're going to find out where we stand. I didn't vote for him, but some of y'all did. Now we're going to see if you were right. I got a strange feeling. It ain't Joe. It's the machine that ain't going to let him do what he need to do. You know, you want to say the Republicans don't want to give you reparations. And I say the Democrats need to bring it to the floor. They ain't got no excuses now. But here's the catch. They didn't bring it to the floor because they knew it was some Democrats that didn't want you to have it either. What they got to do with the Republicans? What they got to do with you bringing it to the floor? Nothing. Nothing. And it also is going to show that there are some black politicians that don't want you to have it also. This is why they didn't bring it to the floor, because they would have embarrassed the Democratic Party. Now, let's just be real about it. Is the Democratic Party fucked up? Sure it is. Is the Republican Party fucked up? Sure it is. So now is the perfect time for a reset. But I don't think we got the right people in the right positions at the right time with the right skill set to pull it off. Did you hear what I just said? I don't think we got the right people at the right time in the right place with the right skill set to pull it off. Because if you were working for the people, Republican and Democrat, it wouldn't be that hard to pull off shit. So the question is who are you working for? Are you working for Iran? Are you working for the Russians? Who you working for? Because our democracy is slowly starting to look like a true dictatorship. You forcing these vaccines on people. I'm looking at, they telling me about a small town in Louisiana where seniors were rolling up today to get groceries, and the only way they could get it is if they took the vaccine. The fuck y'all doing? I ain't took it, I'm still here. And get what? If I die because of COVID, it was my time to go. So is it COVID or is it God calling these people home? Tell me. Is it the COVID or is it God calling these people home? Can't have it both ways. You believe in something. I don't know. It's gonna take a lot of real conversations to fix this in America. But you can't get the fix that you want if you're depending on the people to fix it who fucked it up. Did you hear me? You ain't gonna get the fix you want if you're depending on the people to fix it that fucked it up in the first place. It takes some regular folk to have these conversations. They need to have some congressional hearings with some real people, not some orchestrated bullshit, but some real people. So can we stop the violence in our neighborhood? Sure we can. Sure we can. Can we do something about the homelessness in the city of Houston? You don't know what the fuck to do with the Astrodome. Look like the world's biggest shelter to me. You can do something about homelessness. You know, you look at the health situation. Can we fix that? Sure we can. We got enough money to fix anything we want to fix. But some people make a lot of money off the demise of other people. And that's why you can't fix some of the things that you want to fix. Because some people make money off of uneducated kids. Some people make money off of homeless people. Some people make money off of giving away supposedly free groceries during the pandemic. It's all about money. These people are making money off of this. And right now they got the United States of America where they want it. Do you really think they're going to fix this shit right now? They making too much money. When you close down a business and you limit a business and say you can't have but X amount of people in there, and then all of a sudden that business that's been open for 50 years, little mom and pop store, whether it's black or white or whatever, and it closes down. You can't bring it back. But yet you got stimulus money, but you give it all to the rich folk. You give it all to the rich corporations. So you're not working for the people, you're working for the rich corporations. Understand what I'm saying? You're not working for the people. So some people, they need this pandemic because they're making money off the fact that you ain't got none. They're making money off the fact that you are now limited. But you got to understand the game before you jump your ass off in it trying to play. Simple analogy. A simple analogy. Let's try it like this here. Can you beat the casino? No. This is why I don't go. It doesn't matter how many times you go and you say, man, I came back, I won a little bit. Doesn't matter. They're going to get more out of you than you'll ever get out of them because the casino don't run out of money. The key to winning is going through the stretches where you lose. Can you survive the stretches where you lose? You ever been shooting dice and look like every time you roll, you crap? Do it get to a point where you got enough money to deal with them 9, 10 craps in a row and still be able to play that game? If you got the money to survive the pandemic, then you're going to be fine. All this shit is like the casino. You cannot break the casino. Because if you win enough, they're going to give you a free room and a whole bunch of drinks and have you right back at that table until you lose it all back. That's your stimulus. They're going to starve you for 7 or 8 months. Then they're going to give you a little money because they know you got to spend it right back. It's all a game. Life comes in full circles. It's all a game. Do they want me here teaching you? Nah, I'm venting. If you learning while I'm venting, then you are ahead of the game. It's just a full circle. That's all it is. That's all it is. Tomorrow I'll be teaching for real. 3 o'clock at the Black Stove. 3 o'clock at the Black Stove with State Representative Ron Reynolds, City Councilwoman at Large Letitia Plummer, my good friend, Executive Police Chief Troy Fenner. And we're going to talk about the Black Slate. My first fundraiser is the 23rd of January at that same location. The foundation of our children, our future, your grandkids, is the educational component. We have to fix the educational component. The Houston Independent School District does not have a male presence on the school board. The people that are sitting there that have to run Santos, Villaseca Sung, and Sue Dygard, ain't no way in hell them people should win in November. They've not done a goddamn thing for children. And I'm saying it as nice as I can say it. Nothing. All they've done, and not necessarily Dygard, but the other three is be in the middle of a bunch of confusion, never setting foot in Black schools. So I'm campaigning two things. I'm campaigning to get me on the school board, but I'm campaigning to get them off. And that ain't bad for a dude that don't have a kid in the school system. I just give a damn about the foundation for your kids, your grandkids, my daughter's children. If they have no education, they either graveyard bound or they prison bound. There are no more excuses. I've been doing this for 9 years. And it's the same shit every 4 years. The same lies being told. So if you have a group and you expected me to come to your forum when it's time for me to run, to speak for 1 minute, to try to impress a room full of motherfuckers that can't vote for me, I'm not coming. Why should I waste my time? I don't have to impress you. You know my resume. Like today is National Law Enforcement Day. I posted a picture. Me, Brad Jordan, Scarface, at Jackie A. Senior High School, a bunch of police officers and some kids. I've been working. I don't think that you should vote for people who didn't give a damn about you for 4 years. I don't think you should vote for people who did not want to listen to you once they got in office for 4 years. You need to vote for people who lost their election and they never stopped working. I lost my election and I did more work in the last 4 years than I did before I even ran, protecting children from being brutalized on campuses, getting cops fired because they beating children with batons. You feel what I'm saying? Working hand in hand with principals in certain schools so we can decrease the gang violence. This ain't something that these trustees do. This ain't what they want to do. If it ain't what you want to do, then you need to move on, bruh. Because the state of America starts with the foundation called education. And education in the United States of America is fucked up for black and brown children. But you make the most money off of them. This is why you want them on the campuses right now. You don't give a damn about the COVID. None of that. You want them on those campuses to make money. But you treat them like they third world people, like they're second-class citizens. If y'all think that the police union is horrible, man, go look at some of these teacher unions. They want to put people on the school board like they give a fuck about kids, when in all actuality, they playing the game. They don't care about those children. They need people in their union. The more people they have, the more money they make. November. I don't give a damn who running against me. You're going to have to beat me. You're going to have to beat me. Because I was giving a damn when nobody gave a damn at all. Say, man, I'm not finna hold y'all up. We running right at 53 minutes. I want you to keep your eyes open, keep your head on a swivel. My good white friends, my good black friends, my good Asians, my Latinos, my LGBTQ friends. Because right now, the devil is busy. The devil is busy. And we know it's the devil for one reason. He's the orchestrator of confusion. You tell me what the state of America is now. It's chaos. The devil is busy. They're afraid of me. They're afraid I'm going to educate too many of y'all. But guess what? That's what the war zone is here to do. That's what the war zone is here to do. Educate the people. Say, man, a spirited discussion. And that's why we the best in the business. Got the flight booked. America's first true test. Rally, protest, whatever you call it. 2 to 5 p.m. Cleveland, Ohio, January 15th. And 5 Star already got the tickets booked. I'm coming, Cleveland, but I ain't coming to play no goddamn games. I want justice for Tamir Rice. Until I see you again, I holler.